Hi, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a video series called Why Did We Lose? And I'm just going to talk about mistakes our team made. Just going to analyze certain clips, scenes, pretty much the whole spiel. And yeah. Hi, this is Austin from the future in editing. I just forgot to mention that our team is a low diamond team, and so don't expect the most elegant quality of Overwatch you've ever seen. This isn't Overwatch League. This is 6-stack low diamond Overwatch, okay? Just putting that out there. Okay, so we're on point A defense. I'm gonna let the fight play out.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
We got the pharmacy going behind us, but we don't notice that. Okay. Let's rewind a little bit. I mean, it's pretty obvious why we lost that fight. No cap. Only the truth. Sonic arrow on the door. We can see their whole team. We know there's a pharmacy, right?
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
And the whole time we're fighting, we just forget about the pharmacy. We're too distracted by what was going on up here that the pharmacy snuck in behind us and, you know, just absolutely shredded our backline. Look how disorganized. Oh, wrong button. We were like all over the place. And so again, I just want to reiterate that our team just absolutely forgot about spotting and forgot about keeping track of where the enemy is, and we let this happen. And that's ultimately what caused us to crumble in this first fight. And then now let me show you what went wrong in the kind of the regroup stall about to touch on point. And a lot of it was due to me, if I'm being honest. Okay, so we get pushed off point and we need to regroup for one last contest. Our team centralized in this little corner here, and we're just waiting for the rest of our team to get back so we can regroup, right? And this is where I made a mistake that caused us to lose an opportunity at a contest. And I'll just let it play out here. And so obviously there, the Reinhardt, me,
Stop the payload.
kind of got a little too pokey, and then we got slept anti just absolutely destroyed there, and we lost our chance of a touch. What we should have done instead there, what I should have done instead, I'll show you from my perspective. I'm here, just watch me just kind of do none of all of this nonsensical kind of pokey, getting kind of like, didn't need to do any of that, right? Obviously, I should have let my shield recharge in this room, and just, you know, wait till the whole team got there, right? Like, from this angle, our team was safe, and it was in there. Our Zarya goes a little crazy, but yeah, around this time, this section here, should have just let shield recharge or let resources build up, and then we could have had one full force-fledged contest. By dying early there, you know, we lost that opportunity. Okay, so the next fight breaks out on the street, right underneath the bridge here.
Justice reigns from above. Oh, down shots in the sky. This is going to hurt.
We do win this fight. I think we got really lucky there. Reaper used spinny, went spin, and we won that fight. There's just a couple things I want to point out, and probably a couple things you just noticed when we were fighting. The first thing I want to touch on is just overall communication with our team is just probably ass. Here, I'll point it out. So the first kind of like initial tip off was the shatter that I got. So right here, you get a good shatter, and do you see anything? Do you see anything? Do you see anything stuck out there? Right? Really clean, easy opportunity to go for the Ana there, but watch what happens. Right? This is, I don't know if it's on me or just even on the Reaper, like a good sight line right there, just in the open. But the issue was no one really called out. No one called out a target to go for after the shatter. And the ideal target would have obviously been the Ana. But instead, we kind of just, like, I notice it. I don't really call for help, but we definitely could have killed her. And then I kind of fucking tunnel visioned and just try to go for her here. Meanwhile, there was the Winston in the back, right? And there's also one thing I want to point out in terms of peel and turning for the supports in the back line. I'll show you here. So Winston goes for the leap. Winston's going after our Ana, right? What I think should have been done was our team turns around and goes for the Winston, right? What my only critique about our peel here is that we got Brig turning, and then we got McCree turning. Great, right? But a Reaper, excellent counter to Winston. Just, I think, didn't hear the call or ignored it and went on his own. But we got lucky because the flash and bash and whatnot just sent him in the fucking hole. But again, that could have turned out ugly. I think that the Reaper should have turned and helped our support. It's just that we got lucky with how it played out. But in principle, if it was another day, if that Winston got nanoed or got bubbled, it would have been a different story, and we could have lost our support. And so I just want to highlight that when there's someone in our backline, it's probably usually good for the whole team or most people to go. And I'll show you, I'll just skip forward to the next one. Okay, so just before we get into the second fight, I just want to highlight an important concept that you might notice when I play back at this fight, and it's that we neglected the high ground. Neglection of the high ground, or just ignoring the high ground. Or no high ground control. And I'll let this play out so you can see. Our Reaper just gets fucking rolled 3v1, but what can you do, right? What can you do? Block shatter. Hog's flanking. And high ground's being occupied, and there's a fight happening. And pretty much the soldier has that bridge high ground the entire fight. And so we push them back for a moment here, but I wouldn't count this fight as over yet. You got a Reaper in the castle. Hog on the high ground. Use grab. Reaper gets hooked. I got a second shatter.
I've got you in my sights.
There's a lot going on this. Immune to counter the visor. Got shattered there, and then the full fight swings in the enemy's favor, and we lose. So, like I said, we had no semblance of high ground control at all. Hog, soldier, they were on there the whole time. I feel like what we should have done is position ourselves up here. And that would have been so much better than down here. Especially in this little intermission that we had. Like, especially right after here, we should have went up these stairs and just held this high ground up here. I think that's what the best play would have been. But instead we chose to hold down there. And that's what ultimately led us to lose because they got high ground again and they got absolutely rolled. That's one thing I wanted to point out there. Sorry, Aiden, if you're watching this. Your positioning was kind of ass, not gonna lie. Just trying to improve here as a team, you know? Or I'll just point it out and I'll let you come to that conclusion, alright? Okay, so here you are, right? We have the whole team up on high ground. Okay? Or not the whole team, but you know, there's people up on high ground. You're kind of poking from here, not really doing anything meaningful. Just because, you know, you're just poking, right? You're just poking from here. And you're kind of forced into this bad spot because you slowly pushed back as you're getting poked, right? And so now you're... I like how I'm talking to Aiden. I'm just pointing this out so you can improve, you know? I'm not hating on you in any way, just so that's clear. Big disconnect from, like, you're here, and our team is here. There's a little bit of a disconnect there, right? And the hog flanks you. Because he knew you were in a really bad spot. Because he was up here watching you the whole time, and he saw you. So you started off in a really good spot, like with us over here on the left. Here, I'm just look at you. And so the hog sees you over there alone and goes for you, right? And then luckily you kill the hog, which is sick. And I went a little too far here. Okay. The next case of bad position, and this all happened in like the same fight, right? So you survived you survived that, thankfully, which is great on our supports, to be honest. And then Ruben coming in, the Reaper coming in at the perfect time. But I also want to point out this part right here. I'm gonna do it from the soldier's point of view so you can see. Okay. Alright, you're kind of just caught out in the open. Flat out, right? How I would have played that position, if I were in the same spot you were, the same ruckus you were. You know, let's just get past that. I would have played this corner right here. This is where I would have played. If I were you. If I were McCree and I was in the exact spot I was. You got the McCree beaning down on you. Like, you have the cover, you can crouch right here, right? So, like, when you were poking at him, it would have been better than being caught out in the open like that, right? It makes sense. You could have gotten the same value. You had the same angle here. You gain nothing being here than being over here, except you would have just been closer to cover. And I just wanted to point that out. That's all. Something that you can improve on your own time. Trying to help our team climb here, you know? Don't hate me. After that, so after that we get rolled and then they cap this point. First point on the thing. Okay, so for this last point, I also just want to point out that a recurring theme, neglecting the high ground. Even though, I guess this is technically high ground, right? It's still technically high ground. Okay, let's let this play out. Oh, Jesus.
Dein Schutzengel ist da. Routing power to forward shield.
Alright, let's stop it there. That was the first kind of phase of that fight. Let's rewind. Okay, so there's a couple things. There's just one blaring thing I need to address. And I'm sorry, Ruben. I know you love Reaper so much. He's your dear little baby. But just especially in the scenario that we were in here, I don't think Reaper was the best character to pick. Just being blunt and honest. We got the turret preventing you from really diving anyone in the back, and they're all grouped up here, and you got damage boosted, you got them. They're all there, right? So the only thing you were left with was peppering from this really weird angle where you were exposed a lot. And then you get hooked because you were caught out, and then they push us, right? And Matei tries to, or Anna tries to save your life with the nano boost, but McCree gets it instead. And so we got put into a really iffy situation there. You were kind of in a bad spot with a bad hero that wasn't getting any value from here, from this angle. So the guy pulled back, but you were still there. And you got hooked, unfortunately. And, okay. And then I also want to point out, which isn't, again, a little bit of miscommunication from our team, to be honest, because he goes in there and just kills. Does he kill anybody? Yeah, he does. He kills a McCree. I think what would have been better there was, you know, again, the whole thing with communication. I feel like our diva should have peeled, but here he doesn't, like, you can't see the hog going to her back, and so he immediately goes up here and he goes for a spin. But I mean, if you communicated better, and that we had the Reaper deal with the hog, that would have worked out a lot better in our favor. And so we do hold them off at this point, but that is all. And we're just hanging on by a thread now. We're pretty much just hanging on by a thread. And then we get rolled. That was like, that was 7 minutes of in-game time, but I had a lot to talk about there. I'm so tired. I could talk about our attack, but I think the same issues prevail. And there's a lot said in this one segment already. So I'm going to end this video here. If you made it this far, like, please. I appreciate you, and thank you for watching, and I hope our team gets better. This is all for you guys. This is all for the boys. This is all for the lads. It's all for the 6-stack. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.